Hello, Marcia.
Hello. Good night.
How? Good night for you too. Oh, that means you are going home. You are not going to watch the class today because good night we used to say bye bye.
Why?
Yes, you have to say good evening.
Good evening.
Good night is at the end of the class. You can say good night, teacher. Then I say good night. Okay. If you say good night, I understand you are not going to watch the class. Okay.
Okay.
How are you, Ronaldo? How are you, Erica?
I'm great, teacher. Hello.
That's good. That's good. Did you all have a nice weekend? Erica, Márcia, Ronaldo?
I
Yes.
had.
Yes,
I
I
had.
had. Yes.
I had
Oh,
a
yes,
good
I
weekend.
did. You can say
Yes,
yes.
I did. You and you?
Yes,
You
it was
have a
very
good
good.
weekend?
Yes, very good. My wife and I, we celebrated Mother's Day alone. No children. Modern times, okay? Different times.
Different time. No.
Yes.
Congratulations.
C'est la vie. Erica, how about you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm all right. Did you have a chance to spend the weekend with your mother or no?
Yes, I
Ah, but
spent with my mother.
okay. But do you live with her or no?
Yes,
Ah,
I live
so
with her.
that was nice then. Okay.
Yes,
I'm glad to hear that everyone is fine. Everyone had a nice weekend. So we can start our class, right?
right, of course.
Okay, so without fooling around, let's go. I'm going to share my screen and we can finish the last lesson doing the exercise and we can start today's lesson, okay?
Okay.
So in our last class, and today again, we were talking about the difference between the simple past and the present perfect, okay? So I think we finished discussing these. We have to do the exercises, okay?
Okay.
So let me see if I can find a place to put the camera here. Well, anyway, the first exercise here is to complete the sentences with the correct form of the given verbs in the simple past or the present perfect. You just need to analyze each sentence. If the time is definite, if it's a single action that happened in the past, simple past. If the time is not definite, it's unclear, okay? Or it's a repeated action, then you use present perfect. So let's see if you understood. Number one, Marcia, can you start with number one? I Paul at the theater last night.
I met
Very good, Marcia. That's it. I met.
Paul at the theater last night.
Excellent. That's it. Ronaldo, what about number two? Paul to India several times.
Several times. I missed the last
I missed.
I don't know, teacher.
Oh,
I don't.
it's a repeated action, right? Several times. Several times. It's a repeated action. Okay, can you see this? Yes, can you see it here? Several times. Okay? Is the time definite or indefinite?
Present perfect.
Yes, so present perfect.
Present perfect. Yeah.
Paul is third
Present
person.
perfect.
So I have to say has. What is what's the
Been.
best part? Yes, has been.
Been. Have been.
Has been.
Yeah.
I have been, you have been, he or she has been. Okay?
Has, yeah, okay. She is, has.
Yes, yes. Erica, Mary
Yes.
to go with John for several years prior to his death. Oh, it's missing here. Okay, out. Okay, usually we say go out with. Okay, so Mary
Went
went
out.
went out. Yes. Why went? Because of this part here. For several years prior means before his death. So if John died, she's not going out with him. Understand? So it's past, finished. Mary went out with John for several years. If the sentence had stopped here, for example, I didn't have this other part here. Okay, in this case, the answer would be different. Then I would say, yes, has gone, okay, out with John. Because then the action continues. But since the action finished, I just know because of this, prior to his death. Understand? Then it's went. Okay? Every sentence, you always have one word or two words or one-time expression that will give you the answer. So you can be sure that you use the simple past or the present perfect. That's very clear, understand? And many proficiency tests also exploited this area, okay? Like Cambridge or TOEFL or TOEIC, okay? So, Marcela, are you there? Marcela, are you with us today?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, thanks.
Good.
And you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Can you do this exercise for me, number 4? Like they visit the museum at least 3 times. The answer you discover because of this. At least 3 times. At least means minimum 3 times. Okay?
Okay. So indefinite, né?
Yes, indefinite time. So we have to use the present perfect or the simple past?
Simple past.
No, it's the opposite.
Indefinite.
Yes, indefinite is present perfect.
Present perfect. Isso.
So
they have
visit. Okay?
Visit. Okay.
Very good, Marcela. Marcia, what about number 5? I into Mary at the mall last Saturday.
Run.
Ran.
Ran.
The pronunciation is ran. Run in the present, ran in the past. I ran into Mary.
Into Mary at the
Mall
last Saturday.
Very good. Ronaldo, I to read that book when I was a child. You see, I have here when I was a child. Is that a definite time or indefinite time?
Indefinite time, past, simple past.
Yeah, definite time. So
read.
yes, very good, Ronaldo.
The difference read.
I read. You see, the spelling is the same, only the pronunciation is different. In the present, we say read. In the past, we say read. I read, okay?
Read.
Yes, very good. Number 7. Erika.
They have worked at the company for years. They love it.
They love it. So they, since it's a continuous action, we have to say they have worked, right?
Right.
Now, Marcel again. Susan to be to Canada twice.
Twice.
Twice means 2 times. Once means one time, twice, two times. After that, we say 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, okay?
Ok, então eu sou indefinite, correct?
Yes, correct. Very
Yes.
good.
Present
Susan,
perfect.
Present
Então,
perfect.
Susan has been.
All right, Marcela. You are mastering the present perfect. Very good.
No.
Ronaldo, last night a good movie.
Last night, I saw a good movie. The past.
Excellent,
See,
Ronaldo.
saw.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Last night, oh, the time is already here. Last night. So there is no other possibility. Marcia, we to attend English classes online for a month.
We have, or no?
Yes.
We have attended English
Excellent.
class
Classes
online of, for a month.
All right, Marcia. Very good. That's it. Number 11. Erika, Ted in Europe for many years. He says life there is much better.
Ed has lived.
Has,
Lived.
yes, you see, he says life there is much better. That means he continues to live. So, present perfect. Okay? Marcela, John and Susan married for at least 30 years, and they are still in love.
Por 30 anos. And Susan, are
Have.
have, mas have, vai ser have been mesmo?
Yes, yes. If you say John and Susan are married, that's correct. Okay? Now,
Okay.
John and Susan were married for 30 years. In this case, it means they are not married anymore. They either divorced, separated, or John or Susan died. They passed away. So they were married. But here, because of the second sentence, and they are still in love, that means they continue. Okay? So
Understand.
John and Susan have been. Okay? Excellent, Marcel. Let me see. Sheila, are you there with us? Sheila? No, I think she entered and she left. Okay, Marcia, it's you again. Marcela, I was thinking of you, Marcela. Noodles for herself last weekend, okay?
Marcela.
The famous que nojo, okay?
Cooked.
Cooked, pronunciation, cooked.
Cook. Cook.
Cooked.
Cooked.
Yes, remember, cook ends in C-O-O-K, so I add ED, but I pronounce cooked, okay?
Cooked.
Yes.
Last
Noodles.
weekend. Noodles.
Very good. Now, Ronaldo, to try their famous pizza the last time I was there. Oh, Ronaldo, you ran away not to answer my question? Yes, he escaped. Erika, can you answer this?
Yes, I tried their famous pizza last time I was there.
Oh, very good. Easy, huh? I
Yes.
tried their last pizza, the famous pizza, the last time I was there. Definite time again. Marcela, she is surely the most interesting person in my life. Oh, superlative. So it's necessary to use what? Simple past or present perfect?
Present perfect.
Excellent, Marcela. That's it. You know. So say
I
it.
have
I
I
have
have meet no participio, I don't know.
met.
Met. Okay.
In the present, the pronunciation is meet. In the past, met. She's
Okay.
surely the most interesting person I have met in my life. Okay?
Okay.
Any question about this or no?
No.
Now that I gave you Ronaldo's question, he came back, huh? He didn't want to
No,
answer.
teacher. The internet.
Ah,
Internet.
that's a good excuse, huh? The
No.
internet, yeah. So I said, Ronaldo, pew, disappeared. Okay, no questions.
No.
Okay, let me share another screen with you, okay? All right, let's go to a new share.
But the other day, I was, my internet was
Bad.
bad.
Yes, I think everybody's having problems with the internet.
Yes.
It's because of the high demand, okay? Everybody's using, so, okay? Let me share the screen for today's class so we can start, okay? All right, so pay attention. As I told you, probably this lesson concerning simple past and present perfect, in my opinion, is the most important class of this course. And this will be a real difference in your English if you can understand and start using the present perfect. Because I have many students that are, or I don't know, they think they are advanced speakers of English, but they never use the present perfect. So that's no good. The present perfect is more commonly used than the simple past. Because many times, as I have already told you, the time of the action is not really the important thing. The important thing is the action. So this lesson is like a summary of the last lesson. And just to refresh your memory, okay? Simple past. Ronaldo, can you read this number 1 for me, please?
Simple past. If you remember the action, usually a single one, and the time it happened in the past. Use the simple past to talk about it.
About it, okay? Now, Erica, can you read the number 1 of the present perfect?
If you remember the action, but not the time it happened, or the time is not important, or you don't want to mention it, use the present perfect to talk about it.
Okay, see, this is the basic concept. This is what you have to have in mind. I remember the action and the time. Okay, I use simple past and I talk about it. That's it. I remember the action, but the time, no. Especially for us that, when we start getting old, right, Ronald? We usually remember the action. The action, maybe we never forget. I, at least, remember all the experiences I had in my life. I remember, as I told you, all the museums I visited in my life. I remember the movies. Sometimes it takes me 30 minutes, 40 minutes to, I've seen this movie. But I remember, understand? I remember, I think, most of the books I read since I was a little boy, understand? But the time is not really important, especially when we are discussing, when we are talking about experiences in life. That's why the present perfect exists. So here are some expressions that are used Common time expressions used with the simple past. Marcia, can you read them for us, please?
Common time expression used. Last night, week, month, January, year, and so on.
So on is the same of etc. Okay? Every time I say last night, last week, last month, last January, last February, last year, and so on, it's the same of etc., etc., etc. Okay? And the other one, Marcia.
1 week, 2 months, 3 days, 10 years ago. When I was on vacation, I was a child. I was a teenager. I was there. I was visiting it.
Yes.
In
And the last.
1978, 2010, and so on. I saw Mary last night.
Okay. Thank you, Marcia. Here, you have the most common, but it's possible to be more time expression. The important thing is, if you have a time expression, it's simple past. So when I see last night, last week, last month, or last January, last indicates past. So it is a definite time. So I use simple past. Or I can say 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 1 week ago, okay? Or 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Ago, it's also a good indicator of the simple past. Or I have more complex construction like when I was on vacation, when I was in New York, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, when I was there. Of course, you don't have to say I was. If I say Paul, I can say when he was, okay? My wife, I can say when she was, okay? So you adapt to this, but the important thing is to have the time expression. Or we have a date, a year, for example, in 1960. Like Cabral discovered Brazil in 1500, okay? It's a definite time. So that's it. Now, what about the expressions used in the present perfect? Marcela, can you read that for us?
Common expression used. Before, lately, recently, for plus duration. Recently, for plus duration of time, since plus begin of the action time.
Okay. Yes. When I say, oh, I've seen this movie before, you see, this is not a definite time. It's 1 day in my life. Recently, I don't remember when. Then I say recently. Or when we have continuous action, we say for 2 years, for 3 years. Every time I say for, I always need to say the duration, for 1 week, for 1 month, okay? When I use since, I simply use the time the action started. Since 1955, since 2010, okay? Like Marcia has been in Malta since February. Right, Marcia?
Right.
Okay. So let's see the examples we have here. Ronaldo. Ronaldo is on the phone. He's busy. Making money, making money.
Business.
Yeah, business.
I need that in a moment.
Yeah, I think everybody needs that, okay? So can you read 2 examples, one in the first column, simple past, and one in the second column in the present perfect, please? Like, I saw Mary last night, and then?
I saw Mary last night. About what?
No. Read one on the other column. I haven't seen.
Okay. I haven't seen Mary lately.
Yes. Can you see the difference? Can everybody see the difference? It's very clear. Last night, definite time. Lately, is indefinite. So I saw Mary last night. I haven't seen Mary lately. Okay? Erica, can you read 2 more examples? One in the simple past column and one in the present perfect?
I bought a lot of things when I was on vacation in New York.
Okay.
I've read this book before.
Okay? You see, of course, these sentences are not correct. Or I could say, I've been to New York. That's it. But I bought, simple past, a lot of things when I was on vacation in New York. Okay? Bought is the past tense of buy.
Right.
Okay? I've read this book before. That means one day in my life. Okay? I don't remember when. Marcela, can you read the 2 examples, please?
I started college in 1978.
Okay, you see, definite time. I started college in 1978. Okay? And the other sentence.
I've been to that museum.
No. I've been to that museum. Yes,
Museum. Okay.
museum. Okay? You see, no time in reference, nothing. It's always like this. One day in my life. Oh, I've been to that museum. It's very nice. It's very interesting. Okay? You remember the action, but not the time. Marcia, what about the last 2 examples?
I bought
I bought.
I bought that house 3 years ago. I've not been out of my house for some time.
Okay? Yes. Can you, I bought the house, again, bought 3 years ago. Definite time. Simple past. I have not been out of my house for some time due to the quarantine. I have not been out of my house for some time. Right? So is it clear? The examples in the simple past and the examples in the present perfect?
Yes.
Very
Okay.
clean.
Very good. Now, let's go again. Ronaldo, can you read the part about the simple past, number 2?
Yeah. If you want to talk about an action that started and finished in the past, use the simple past.
Okay. Now, in the present perfect.
If you want to talk about an action that started in the past and continues up to the present time, use the present perfect.
Very good. This is exactly what you need to remember. If you say, I've, especially if the verb is regular, because the regular is the same of the past tense. Past participle, past tense are the same. So if I say, I worked at that factory for 10 years, I worked, it means I don't work anymore, finished. But if I just say, you see, the only difference is I've worked in that factory for 10 years. In this case means I still work there. So if you don't, let's say, tune up your ears to listen to I've and I, you may confuse, understand? Maybe you can get really confused. And then you can ask some stupid questions like, why did you stop? Why did you quit? The person, what? I still work there, okay? So here, read the first 2 examples, please, Marcela.
I lived in the USA for many years.
Excellent. Just a moment. When you listen to this, it means I live in the USA now or I don't live anymore?
Sorry.
I don't live anymore.
Yes.
Exactly. I don't live anymore. I lived. Okay? What about the second part, Marcela?
He's lived in the USA for 5 years.
It means that he lives there or he doesn't live there anymore?
He lives there.
Can you see? This difference is extremely important. If you don't observe that here is he has lived, you may get confused and understand that now he doesn't live anymore. But that's not true. Okay? All right?
Okay.
Okay?
Simple past. I lived in the USA for many years ago.
No,
I
no, no.
changed.
It's not necessary.
No,
No.
no. I
By,
present perfect. Né?
no, it's I lived in the USA for many years. You already get the idea that I don't live anymore. If you ask me, really? When? Then of course, I remember the time and the action. But in this case, I'm only emphasize the duration for
Quase
many
do
years.
reza aqui que tá contraindo. Pode.
Okay? What?
Okay.
In the second part? Here's the contraction, but the full form is he has. Okay, Marcelo?
Ai, ok, teacher, eu tava falando aqui sozinho, esqueci de colocar mute. Com meu namorado, na verdade.
Aha! Are you watching my class or you're having a good time, huh?
Não, ele tava só me ajudando aqui.
Ah! So tonight you're not going to have noodles for dinner, huh? Tonight is a special dinner, huh?
Yeah, more special tonight.
But not noodles.
Not.
Okay, good. Erica, can you read the second pair of sentence for me, please?
I went out with that girl for 3 years. I've been married for 35 years.
So, concerning the first part, do I still have any kind of relationship with that girl or no more?
No more.
No more. Understand? Finished. Finished completely. If you ask me, where does she live? I don't know. Is she married or single? I have no idea. Does she have any children? Beats me. Okay? I know nothing about her. I went out with her for 3 years, a long, long, long time ago. Okay? But when I say he's lived, I've been married for 35 years, that means that I am still married. Okay? All right?
All right.
So it's completely different. Marcia, what about the other two examples?
I worked for a large company for 5 years. Susan's worked by IBM for IBM for 10 years.
You see, in the first case, I worked for a large company for 5 years. I don't work anymore. Susan's worked for IBM for 10 years. That means she still works for IBM. Okay? Erica, what about the last two examples?
I lived in Campinas from 1981 to 1986. Paul's had that car since 2010.
Okay. You see, I lived in Campinas from 1981 to 1986. This action finished. I don't live in Campinas anymore. Okay? It finished in 1986. Paul's had that car since 2010. So he continues with the same car. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Let's go to number 3. Marcia, can you read number 3 for us? The definition, the third use of the simple past and the present perfect.
Okay, simple past. If you want to talk about something that was exceptional in the past, use the simple past.
Okay.
Present perfect. If you want to talk about something that was the best or the most exceptional experience you've had in the past, use the present perfect.
Okay, that's the use of the superlative. Like when I say, she was very beautiful when she was a child. Today she's a monster, but when she was a child, she was very beautiful. Understand? Now, if I say she's the most beautiful woman I've ever met, that means she continues to be very beautiful. Okay?
Yes.
Understand this?
Yes.
Erica, can you read the second two examples, please?
The movie I saw last week was excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. That was the best movie I've seen in my life.
You see, the movie last week was excellent, but not the best of my life. But when I say that was the best movie, is the best. So superlative, I have to use the present perfect. That was the best movie I've seen in my life. Okay? What about the next two examples, Marcela?
My Volvo S40 was a very good car.
Okay. You see, I'm just talking about a car that I had in the past. It was a very good car. And the other part?
My Volvo S40 was the best car I've ever had.
Okay? Understand this? So now I'm comparing the Volvo S40 with all the other cars I had in my life. That was the best. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, Marcia, can you read the number 4 for me, please? Another use for the simple past or the present perfect.
If you want to talk about a single action in the past, use the simple past. If you want to talk about repeated actions in the past, use the present perfect.
I think this is very clear, but I just want to reinforce this idea, okay? So, Erica, can you read the first two examples, please?
I went to New York once in 2016. I've been to New York many times.
You see the difference? I went to New York once, only one time, in 2016 or 2016. I've been to New York many times. It's a repeated action, so present perfect. Marcela, can you read the other two examples, please?
I saw that movie many years ago. I've been seeing that movie.
There is no been.
I've seen that movie 3 times.
I'm sorry, it's not movies. I've seen that movie 3 times, okay?
Okay.
Can you read the other two examples, Ronaldo? Or you're still making money there?
No, I I read. If you want to talk about
No, here, the last example. I read the book.
Sorry, I read that book when was a child.
Okay.
I've read that. I read.
Read.
That book twice.
Okay. Can you see the difference? Is it clear, the difference? Excellent.
Yes.
So please, as I told you, most of the mistakes that we make in English, they usually happen because you think in Portuguese. In Portuguese, it's common to say, você já foi para Bahia? Já foi. And then, even if you think correctly and you think, oh, já foi, that's present perfect, then you are going to ask, have you gone to Bahia? And the person is going to say, what? Have you gone to Bahia? And that's a typical mistake. There is a difference between have been and have gone. Usually Brazilians insist on using gone. Já foi. But look at the difference. See if you can understand. Paul's been to New York. When I say this, I mean he went to New York and returned to Brazil one day in the past. So he's been to New York. Paul's gone to New York. When I use the verb gone, it means Paul is on his way traveling to New York, or he is in New York at this moment. Understand? So if you telephone him and I say, hi, this is Roberto. Can I talk to Paul? I'm sorry, he's not here. He's gone to New York. You see? So that's why if you ask a person, have you gone to Bahia? And the person is in front of you, he's going to say, what? I'm here. Understand? So gone is when you are there or you're traveling there. Understand? Sometimes you call a person and say, hi, can I talk to Mary? I'm sorry, she's not here now. She's gone to the supermarket. That means she went to the supermarket, but she has not returned it yet. Can you see the difference between have gone and have been?
Yes.
Yes, Marcia, Ronaldo, Marcela, is that clear?
So.
Who said so? Marcela?
Marcelo.
Okay, oh, Marcela. Remember, when you say gone, it's because the person is not in front of you. The person is walking, driving, flying to the place. Or she is in another place. Understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
when you say been, means the person went and already returned. Okay?
Tá.
Okay, then
É porque eu pensei nesse caso que ele ainda estava em Nova York, mas ele voltou já.
Yes, then you say he's been. For example, imagine that your boyfriend says, oh, I'm going to prepare you a special dinner tonight. Oh, very good, very good. What do you need? Ah, don't worry, I'm going to the supermarket, okay? And then he goes to the supermarket. His mother telephones you and asks you, what, I'm sorry, I forgot, his name is Vitor?
Vitor, yes.
Yes, so Vitor's mother calls you and says, hi, Marcela, this is Vitor's mother. Can I talk to Vitor, please? You're going to say, I'm sorry, my dear mother-in-law. He's not here now. He's gone. He's gone to the supermarket. Understand?
Yes.
After, yes, he went and he has not returned. Understand?
Yes.
Then you are in the middle of the class, the door opens, you see Vitor, and then you say, I thought you were going to the supermarket. He says, oh, I've already been to the supermarket. I bought everything to make you a lasagna. Oh, that's nice. See, I've already been to the supermarket. That means he went and returned it. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
Thanks, Peter.
No problem. Oh, just to finish this class, there are some words that are very commonly used with the present perfect. One of them is just. I'm sure that you have seen these many times in movies. When two people get married, they write in the card, just married. Have you seen this?
Yes.
So every time you see just, place it between have and the verb in the past participle. The idea is that the action happened in the last few hours, in the last few minutes, in the last few days. Understand? Like, we have just gotten married, but they abbreviate by just married. Okay? Oh, they have just gotten married. That means they got married in the last few hours or so. So just always gives the idea that the action happened recently. Okay? Like, she has just arrived. Okay? She arrived a few minutes ago. Understand this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Another common word used is yet. Yet can be used in affirmative questions or negative questions or negative sentences. The idea is a little different when it's negative and when it's affirmative. For example, have you finished your tests yet? In this case, yet means like já. But observe the position at the end of the sentence. Have you finished your test yet? It's like, já acabaram os testes? When I use it in a negative sentence, I haven't seen that movie yet. That means ainda. Eu ainda não vi aquele filme. Okay? That's why when I ask you, finished? The students say, not yet, teacher, not yet, which is our famous, ainda não, ainda não. Okay? So not yet is common, but I can also use yet in questions with the idea of já. But then you can say, but já in English, teacher, is not already. Yes, but then the position of already is different. Already is usually used between the verb, the auxiliary verb have, and the verb in the past participle. Like, I have already finished my test, teacher. Okay? I have already seen that movie. Okay?
Okay.
And I can also use still with the present perfect. Okay? Means that something hasn't happened. We use it to emphasize that we expected the thing to happen earlier. Still in this context, it's only used in negative sentences, not in affirmative. And it's placed before the auxiliary verb have. For example, I've been waiting for Mary for over an hour. And I'm sorry, it's not she must, no. She still hasn't come. Okay? She still hasn't come. Ela ainda não chegou. But observe the position. I could also use, but she hasn't come yet. Or she still hasn't come. The idea is the same. They told me they would hand in their proposal by last Saturday, but they still haven't done that. Okay? She hasn't, I'm sorry, I placed it in the wrong position here. She hasn't still replied. It's also possible to use there, but here's more common. She hasn't still replied to my text. Maybe her mobile is off. Any problem about this or no? Okay, so we finished here, and I also included some exercises for you to use the simple past or the present perfect. Again, it will have important words that will give you the answer. For example, I already to finish my homework. I have already finished my homework. Okay? The others you can do at home, and tomorrow we'll discuss them. All right?
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Bye
Good
bye.
night, Marcia.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.
Yes, see you later. Bye-bye now.
Vamos ver aqui. Oi. Bye.
Good night.